Afternoon.
Hi, Rafa. Rafa, how are you doing?
Fine, you?
First of all, can we just start with the news this week and what has dominated what many of us have been talking about? How did Wednesday night go?
It was a pleasant dinner, and that's it. So everything that we were talking about will be there, will stay between us, and nothing else. Normally, in all the teams that I have been, you used to have some kind of dinners with the owners or with the president, and it's something very common in football.
Did you think it was a good idea, and how did you feel when you were told this was to happen?
I will not talk too much about that because I think we have to concentrate on the game. We have an important game to play. So what I said before was a pleasant dinner. We were talking about everything, and now we have to concentrate on football.
I suppose the difficult thing for us is you say you're talking about everything. We want to know what everything is. Are you able to just give us an insight into what you took away from the meal?
Good atmosphere. The players are fine. Everybody was relaxed. And that's it.
Did you have a chance to speak about your future with the club, your contractual situation with Mike?
We were talking about Manchester United, how difficult it is, and then what we have to do to beat them.
Yeah, I suppose for us though, the reason I suppose I'm pushing this is you say most owners speak to managers in these kind of situations. For yourself and Mike Ashley, it's only the fourth time you've seen each other for 2.5 years, so it is an unusual situation.
What I said is very common in any football team to have dinners, directors, the president, the owner, staff, everyone. But it's very common everywhere in all the countries, so it's not just here. And I don't see the point to create something that was so normal. And I say again, it was pleasant, it was fine, and we have to concentrate on Manchester United.
And can you take positives from this into the game? Do you think this can help ahead of Saturday?
Yeah, if we win, you would say yes. If no, you would say. I have seen these kind of things for years. So players, what they have to do on the pitch in the training sessions is the key. What we have to do preparing the games is the key, and the other things can help. That's it.
It's funny sometimes, isn't it? Because like a little thing can happen in a season, it can just turn things around. Are you hoping that is something that can help then?
Yeah, I don't see any negative to have all the team together and enjoying some time, and that's it. But
am I right in saying that the players had their own meeting as well this week without yourself and
No, it's not true.
It's not true.
No. We had a normal meeting like every Monday. We were watching the clips, the videos of the thing that we did right, we did wrong. A normal meeting, so we didn't have any special meeting.
Okay, on to Manchester United then. It's a strange game, this, isn't it? Because obviously you're without a win. Manchester United under a lot of pressure as well. Can you go there and almost act on a fragile Manchester United? Can you take advantage of that?
In all my time in England, I don't remember any fragile Manchester United team. So all of them, they have been really strong every year with good managers, good players. So I don't see any Manchester United team fragile. I can see a team that everybody was expecting that they could be higher, but it's a question of time. It's like us. So if you remember last year, for example, we are in the bottom three, and people say, "Oh, you are in the bottom three." Yeah, who are at the top of the table in the Premier League? The three teams that they spend more money than anyone. Who are at the bottom of the table? Teams that they didn't spend so much money. So that is a normal situation. It's nothing that you have to say, "Oh, we have to do this, that, because what?" So we are in a position that we could expect to be watching the futures and say it's very difficult. But also, I'm quite positive. I say I have to be realistic, but at the same time, optimistic. So, if you see the teams that they were at the bottom last year, in the ninth feature were Everton, Bournemouth, and Crystal Palace. None of them were relegated. So, it's a long-running race. We have to carry on, and I have confidence that we did. We did it last year. We finished 10th. We'll do it this year. Because this group of players, they work really hard. So then it's a question of time that we will have the teams at our level that we can compete, we can win, and the first win will give us confidence, and it will be easier for us to carry on winning games like we did last year.
Jose Mourinho in the media a lot right now for the way things are going there, and Paul Pogba as well. What do you make of what you see of that situation?
Nothing. It's not my team, so I'm quite busy trying to improve my team, and that's it.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Cheers.
Rafa, after Wednesday night, how would you describe the mood in the camp at the moment as you go into this game?
It's really good. I have been saying the same for a while. Since I am here, the first year when I came, after in the Championship and in the Premier League, so this team, this group of players, they train really well. You have some good days, some bad days, like everyone, but overall it's quite good, quite positive. And again, I would say the training sessions are good. The players are working very hard and they are really focused. What means that? Means that we will win. You never know. You play against a top side, but we have chances to do what we want to do because everybody is focused and concentrate on the game, and we know how important is every single game for us.
It's a question that we'll often ask you ahead of playing any team. What have you made of the job that Jose Mourinho has done at Manchester United this season? I'm
not here to talk about him. I think he's a good manager, he has a good team, and then we will try to do our best to be sure that we can get 3 points for us. That's it.
And just thinking more widely, obviously you've been managing in the game for a very long time. We've seen stories about player power, not just at Manchester United, but over the past few seasons at various clubs. Do you think player power is more of a factor these days than when you started out managing?
If you talk about a long time ago, maybe, but it depends on the players that you have. If you have Messi, then you know that you have to manage him because he can make the difference in any game. So it depends on the players that you have. This group of players, they are quite good professionals. They work really hard and they know that each one has to make a contribution. So I think, to be fair, I can repeat that, but I was surprised with the stories about, they had a meeting, this. No, it's a normal thing. They are training well. We talk about everything and we enjoy sometimes outside, and we try to enjoy on the pitch. That is more difficult at the moment, but I think we will do it.
Yeah, I think the meeting stories were from something that Martin Dubravka said after the Leicester game, that it might be good for the players to sit down by themselves and have that conversation. In a way, is that pleasing for you as a manager, that they are happy to, if it does happen, to take that initiative and say, look, we need to talk about this and decide what's going wrong? They're not just relying on you to do that for them.
No, we are a team that we talk all the time. So my way to manage is to talk with players individually, in groups, all together. They are talking all the time. So we have been analysing these things. Martin, we were talking about this interview and what they write. So we have meetings every week, and with a lot of players. We watch the clips about the games, and each individual has his own clip. So we have a lot of things that we do. But we were doing these things in Chelsea when we won the Europa League, or we were doing these things in Napoli when we were winning, or even in Liverpool. So the normal things that you used to do, but sometimes when things are not going well on the pitch, people say, oh, maybe you can do this, you can do that. Yeah, we are open to any idea, but at the moment we are fine because the players are still there working really, really hard.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Rafa, can you understand the media interest in Wednesday night? Because obviously the players had their problems with bonuses in the summer. There's been uncertainty over your future recruitment policy. Therefore, a dinner with everybody there could be seen as a clear the air, united front.
Yeah, I can understand your interest, but at the same time, I can tell you that it was nothing new for me, nothing special. It was just we stay there, we were talking, and it has to be positive. That's it.
And you talked about Mike Ashley being at the Palace game, the Leicester game, as being a good sign, the owner taking interest. So, therefore, a natural question is, the January window is going to be that much more important.
Yeah, I said before, I have a responsibility, and I am realistic. So I have to try to manage the situation in the best way possible. That means that I am looking for the best interest for the team. So if we go to January and everybody's happy and we can do what we want to do or what we need to do, it will be better for everyone. So I can understand your interest, I can understand the fans, I can understand everything that is going around, and at the same time I know that I have to do what I have to do to be sure that the team can improve, can win games, and can be in a good position, and I am convinced 100% that we will stay up in the Premier League.
There's obviously been a very unsettled atmosphere at Old Trafford. It doesn't seem to be a very happy camp at the moment. Can you exploit that? Would that possibly change your game plan, knowing how edgy the fans are going to be if, say, Man United don't score in the first half?
It's easy to say yes, but again, I would say we will play against a very good team, so we will try to do it. We will try to do our best to be sure that we can score first, that we didn't do this season, and we will have more confidence during the game. But I am sure that they will try the opposite.
Jose Mourinho, in previous jobs, hasn't really talked about players publicly. Sometimes he has. I mean, is your view actually to rather not talk about individual players when perhaps somebody's had a good game, somebody's had a bad game?
Yeah, each one has his own ideas. I try to talk about the team, but sometimes you have to praise players if they do well. But I think it's important that the team, they understand your way to manage, and these players, they understand how I try to manage.
But criticism of players is something you would avoid in public at a, say, post-match interview?
Each one is different, each moment is different, and each manager is different. So I will try to do what I did last year with this team, and they did really well, and hopefully we can do this year the same.
One of the problems with the Leicester game was it wasn't one of the top six and one of those so-called winnable games. In terms of the team's confidence that you didn't manage to get a result from that, where do you stand on the confidence thing, even though, yes, you've had a difficult start?
I understand the question about the top six, but who won the league 2 years ago or 3 years ago? Leicester. So we are talking about teams that, again, check the numbers. The team that has spent more than 100 million this year. So we have to compete with every team, and we will try to do that. But sometimes you cannot, or sometimes when you have the confidence, if you concede, it's more difficult. So we are working on that. But as Luis Aragonés was saying in Spain, you cannot buy confidence in the 5th floor of John Lewis. So you have to keep working hard.
And one or two players possibly available to you this week that weren't last week?
Yeah, I have to assess the Fede and Dumet. Obviously, Salomon Rondon is not available, Lejeune is not available, and Esterri also had a problem, so he will not be available.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Can I ask one more about Wednesday? How was the food?
Fine, normal.
Normal.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Carry on, eh?